Hello, my name is Scribble, and welcome to the semifinals of the Seoul Draft League. We are playing a rematch with Tree Stain, who we lost to in preliminary round, so this is a run back, and so the last time we played Tree Stain, we did not need to win the game. It didn't really matter for us because we were already confirmed into playoffs. But now it does matter. We are in a win-or-go-home situation because it's playoffs now. This is for all the marbles. Well, not quite. This is the semifinals match, which means the winner of this game advances to finals, and then the winner of finals will win the league as a whole. So, if you haven't seen the team builder, be sure to check that out, and you'll know what we brought and why. I did not change anything before the game. So yeah, looking at Tree Stain's team, so the Crab-Ominable is not here, which is pretty good news, because the Crab kind of put in work versus us. But I had a pretty strong feeling that it wouldn't come again, because it is like a gimmicky two-pointer or something, and it's hard to make a Pokemon like that work more than once. Although, I mean, here I am bringing a Alolan Exeggutor, so who am I to talk about that? But yeah, I suspected Crab-Ominable would not come a second time. But now Terra Raging Bolt has arrived because the Crab isn't taking up the Terra slot anymore, and that's pretty expected. That is a Terra Fairy Raging Bolt, which is also expected because it's a good type to hit Ting-Lu with Terra Blast, and Fairy's pretty decent defensively into our team. The other difference is Venusaur is here instead of Gouging Fire. And that really surprised me. Like, Gouging Fire not coming was really good for us, because look at our Gouging Fire switch in. It's just Ting-Lu, but like, we do have a utility umbrella on Ting-Lu to protect us from like the sun boosted fire moves, but it doesn't save us from photosynthesis, so it's still gonna do a lot of damage. So when I saw Gouging Fire was not here, I was thrilled. And the other Pokemon he brought last time, so I'm expecting similar sets on the Corviknight and the Walking Wake. So last time the Corviknight was I believe it was Iron Defense with Defog to 1v1 Annihilate and also clear hazards. Walking Wake was speed boosting in the sun, and that's important because that lets it outspeed Deoxys. And it was Mystic Water, I think, last time, to spam water moves, which is pretty good into our team. But now we brought Tentacruel, so it's not as free. The Golden Go, I expect is to still be the Deoxys answer. Last time he brought Assault Vest on Golden Go, I found out after the game. But it could also be like Scarf Trick, it could just be like, I don't know, Culber Berry, Cassiva Berry maybe. But that looks to be the Deoxys answer if Corviknight is here for Annihilate again. Venusaur is different, so obviously it's going to have Chlorophyll, and then in the sun it is actually faster than Deoxys. So as for moves on the Venusaur, I don't really know for sure. It's got to have a grass move. It can be Giga Drain or Solar Beam. I mean, it's got all the moves it needs, really. It's got Weather Ball, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb. It could have any combination of moves. Thankfully, the Venusaur is not Terra, so I don't have to worry about it too much, and then Tentacruel will be a consistent answer to it regardless. Torkoal was Eject Pack last time, but it could be anything. It doesn't have to... Oh, wait, no. Sorry, he tried to be Eject Pack, but he accidentally was Eject Button. But, yeah, Torkoal... Torkoal does the same thing every game. It gets up Sun, gets up Rocks, maybe Rapid Spins, maybe Yawns, maybe Will-O-Wisp, something like that. It could be Boots, it could be Heat Rock. Maybe it's Eject Pack for real, but I don't know. I'm not too worried about the Torkoal. But I am relieved to see no Gouging Fire. So, our team is different. So the last time we played Tree Stain, we had a dedicated Sash lead Deoxys for hazards. We don't have that anymore. In fact, our Deoxys is now a win condition. So I don't want to lead with Deoxys anymore. So I have to make a decision what I want to lead with. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lead Ting-Lu. The reason I lead Ting-Lu is because it matches up well into Torkoal, which is what he led last time. And if he leads Raging Bolt wanting to Terra immediately, then I'd rather have Tinglu in, even though it is Terra Fairy. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to die in one hit to anything. And then I get information on the Raging Bolt set, because the Raging Bolt can be anything. It could be choice specs, it could be like Assault Vest, it could be leftovers, Calm Mind, it could be booster energy if it wants to, just to not rely on Sun. It could be a bunch of different things, and so I want information on the Raging Bolt if he does lead with that. Walking Wake would be like a pretty bad situation to lead into, but I do have Tentacruel to pivot in on that. And then he ends up leading Venusaur, which surprised me. Venusaur was not on my radar for leads at all, especially because I led Deoxys last time. I sort of expected Venusaur to, like... Yeah, I just didn't expect Venusaur. This would have been the last Pokemon, I guess, to lead out of, like, all the other 5 Pokemon. So, this is kind of bad for me. So, like, I can stay in here pretty safely if I want to. Venusaur is not going to kill Tinglu. It barely puts a dent into it, honestly. Just because Tinglu is that bulky. So, I could just get up my rocks if I want to, but I don't really want to take unnecessary chip damage on my Tinglu. So, I'm just going to switch into my Tentacruel. If he makes a double, Tentacruel is still, like, decent into everything else. But he ends up going for Sleep Powder, and he misses. So, a bit lucky. Now it's like, okay, you can stay into Sleep Powder again if you want, but I'm okay with my Tentacruel going to sleep. I assume the Venusaur will be faster than me, and then I'll burn a sleep turn, which means I'll have a chance to wake up right away, and I'll take that. If he wants to switch out, then I get a free knockoff on something, and that's really nice because if Raging Bolt comes in, I could get rid of its Assault Vest or Specs or Leftovers. If it's Walking Wake, I could get rid of a boosting item. If it's Torkoal, it could be like the Heat Rock. Like, removing an item here is really good for me. So I'm okay. And like, there's also, if he decides to stay in and click Sleep Powder again, he can also still miss. So I elect to just knock off this turn, but he stays in and hits Sleep Powder. But he is faster, and I burn my sleep turn. So now I have a chance to wake up every turn from here on out, and I'm gonna roll for that wake up because the upside of knockoff is really huge for me. But unfortunately, I don't get it, and in comes Raging Bolt. And now this is a little scary because the Raging Bolt, I don't know anything about it. So I'm actually going to fish for the wake up turn, and I'm going to get it here. The reason is because I don't die to any one hit from Raging Bolts because I'm max special defense plus Assault Vest, and Tentacruel is really bulky. I have decent odds to wake up this turn, and I also think the Raging Bolt might Calm Mind or Volt Switch. I think either of those. Like, okay, maybe not Volt Switch because Tinglu is the obvious one, but like if he predicts Tinglu specifically, then he might just Terra and Raw Terra Blast, fearing my, not fearing, if I'm fearing the electric move. So, and also because I'm asleep, from his perspective, there's less risk in him making a prediction here, because there is a chance that I just stay asleep. But I do get the second turn wake up, which is very nice, and I'm able to knock off the Raging Bolt, and I get rid of its Leftovers, as it sets up a Calm Mind, as I expected. Because I was asleep, and I just might not move. So now I switch into my Tinglu, expecting an electric move or another Calm Mind. So my Tinglu does not die to a +2 Terra Blast. And like he has to Terra and Terra Blast here. There's no other option for him. So I very confidently click Heavy Slam here, expecting the Terra Fairy. He never stays an electric type here. And I get the turn right. Terra Blast, I eat that up, and I Heavy Slam, do 19. So this was a mistake on my end. I just did not check how heavy Raging Bolt was before the game. In fact, I'm pretty sure I had Heavy Slam specifically for a Terra Fairy Raging Bolt the last time we played Tree Stand, and I just never checked the weight and saw how little Heavy Slam actually did to Raging Bolt. So, Heavy Slam was absolutely worthless, and it's just gonna cost me my entire Tinglu here. I should have Whirlwind instead. It's just strictly better for for what I wanted to do with it. So yeah, that's definitely unfortunate. He gets a crit there, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, there goes Tinglu. A bit of a sad end, and it's also really unfortunate that we made this kind of mistake in the playoffs game, but had to be a little more careful there. I guess okay, so I guess the situation is he did not bring Raging Bolt last time, so I never had the opportunity to even, like, get corrected on the heavy slam damage versus Raging Bolt in that initial game. And I just trusted myself from last time that heavy slam was there for a reason, I guess. But alas, down goes Tinglu. And now we have to deal with a +2/+2 Terra Fairy Raging Bolt, and that is very scary. So I go into my Zapdos. I think. Oh, by the way, the Raging Bolt is not Clear Amulet. I mentioned in the team builder that since we brought Eerie Impulse Zapdos last time, he might go Clear Amulet on Raging Bolt to account for that, but he ended up not doing that. So if I was Eerie Impulse, then I could just safely 1v1 this, but I'm not. So I'm just going to get up a Light Screen instead. But Light Screen is going to enable me to do something here. I'm actually going to be able to Volt Switch this turn and go into my Annihilate. So Light Screen is going to make it so I live the attack. He's gonna click Thunderbolt here because it does more to most Pokemon on my team. Like it hits Alolan Executor harder, but obviously Alolan Executor is not gonna come in versus the Terra Fairy Raging Bolt. It's just walled. It doesn't do anything. I guess Tentacruel could come in to, like, Haze or Poison Jab from his perspective, so that's even more incentive to Thunderbolt. And Thunderbolt does more to Zapdos and Deoxys. So basically, I am pretty confident he's not clicking Terra Blast Fairy here. At worst, he clicks Thunderbolt, but at best, he clicks Calm Mind. And so I Volt Switch into my Annihilate, and he does Calm Mind, which is excellent, because now we're out of the situation. We can just Encore the Raging Bolt, and now it's no longer an issue. We force it out, and we just don't let it. We have to play to not get into this position again, because now we've revealed Encore on Annihilate, so it won't be so easy to lock it into Calm Mind. So he's forced out. He elects to go into Torkoal. I bulk up here, even though I expect to switch out the next turn. I don't know what he'll go into instead. Like, if it's Corviknight, like, it doesn't really work anymore because I have Encore for that. So I guess going Torkoal makes sense. So maybe Drain Punch is a little better, just so I get, like, damage on something. But it really doesn't make a difference. Bulk Up just makes me more threatening, so it doesn't necessarily force him to do something about it, but it makes him more inclined to answer the issue with Annihilate rather than being aggressive and predicting me to switch out here, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pivot into my Deoxys because I'm expecting Will-O-Wisp, and I kind of want my Deoxys burned because that means I can't get paralyzed by Gholdengo Thunder Wave or put to sleep by Venusaur or Torkoal Yawn, maybe. So, if he is Will-O-Wisp, then, like, it's pretty good for me, honestly. So that's why I go Deoxys here. But he does actually Yawn this time. And so, I don't want my Deoxys to be put to sleep, so I switch out into my Tentacruel as he gets up rocks. That's fine. What do I do here? I just elect to knock off. I get rid of the Heat Rock, which is very nice. So now Sun is limited for the rest of the game. Oh yeah, because I don't expect Raging Bolt to come back in now that it's a Fairy type, because I could have a Poison move, and now I threaten it. And Knock, it's the same logic as before. Knock is really strong into all these other guys, because they all really want their items. But here he sets up a Yawn on my Tentacruel. And now I can make a decision. I can let my Tentacruel go to sleep again. And if I do this, because of Sleep Claws, then my Deoxys and Annihilate won't be able to go to sleep anymore, which means they could both potentially set up on the Torkoal. Maybe not Annihilate because I'm risking, like, Lava Plume burns, but it's an interesting situation, right? So, but the downside of that is if my Tentacruel goes to sleep, then I am leaving myself more open to the Walking Wake and also the Venusaur, because like if I can't attack, like especially because I won't have burned that one sleep turn, so I'm guaranteed to stay asleep for one turn, and then that gives him so much time to like capitalize on the sleeping Tentacruel. But at the same time, it's like, what do I do instead? Like, I can make a switch here, but to what? Like, this is sort of my Torkoal switch in. I can go Alolan Executor. I can also go Zapdos. Those would be my switches. I don't really want to go Annihilate on a potential burn. I don't want to take damage with my Deoxys, like, for no reason. So I actually do decide to stay in and Rapid Spin here. I just Rapid Spin because I get rid of the rocks and it guarantees I do something this turn. I don't think he's going to go Golden Go here after I've already clicked Knockoff once. He goes Raging Bolt, reveals Booster Special Attack, but that's to be expected. But in my Tentacruel goes to sleep, which means now nothing else in my team can be put to sleep. So that will come into play later, maybe. So I go into my Zapdos because I'm specially defensive, and I actually just eat up the Thunderbolt very well, which is honestly really nice. I Light Screen first to cover... I mean, it doesn't really matter. I can Light Screen or Roost first, but I guess Light Screen makes me take less damage. And I guess Light Screen is also just better in case he crits me here. Because then I can just get like a free switch into something else and I'll get more screens turns. Well, I guess if I Roost, I lose my flying type, and then Crit Thunderbolt probably doesn't kill me. Maybe Roost first is better because then I don't die to crit. Okay, maybe that's a slight inaccuracy, but it doesn't really matter that much. Here he Thunderclaps predicting my Volt Switch, I think, but I just Roost to become healthy again. And Raging Bolt doesn't have any recovery anymore. So I'm actually going to be able to 1v1 this. I do miss Heat Wave one more time. I'd love to know Zapdos' Heat Wave hit rate this season. It cannot be 90%. I know that for sure. But yeah, I'm faster than the Raging Bolt, so I can just like keep clicking alternating Light Screen, Roost, Heat Waves, and just like slowly wear down this Raging Bolt. Honestly, from his perspective, I don't really think he should let this happen. Like, keeping Raging Bolt for Thunderclap in the back could be nice. And, like, as soon as I have Light Screen and I do, like, I take so little damage from the Raging Bolt, it's like, why even... It started at, like, 50-something HP, 50%-ish, right? You could have had that entire Raging Bolt in the back, but now it just, like, dies to Zapdos. And, like, you could go... You know my entire moveset at this point as well. Walking Wake is pretty free. I don't really have a way to punish Walking Wake. So that's probably better. And my Tentacruel is also asleep. So, like, going Walking Wake could take more advantage of that. But, hey, it's good for us. So, Volt Switch. And here I go into my Deoxys. So, Light Screen is up. And Deoxys, I know for sure, is going to bait in the Golden Go. Because Golden Go is, like, clearly the Deoxys answer to this. And so here, I have to make a decision. I am Weakness Policy, and I'm guaranteed faster than Scarf Golden Go as well. He's not clicking Trick here. Trick here doesn't make any sense. But if I Calm Mind and he Shadow Balls me, it's going to do, like, no damage, my Weakness Policy procs, and now I could honestly just win the game with stored power. The extreme punish, though, is if this Golden Go is Thunder Wave, and then my my fun comes to an end. So, do I scout for Thunder Wave? It's an interesting decision to make. But when am I going to get this opportunity again? A free switch into Deoxys at full health with Light Screen 3 turns up, and I get Golden Go in front of me. This is like the ideal situation I want to proc my Weakness Policy. And also, just from last game, he did bring a Saltfest Golden Go, and like, there's no real reason he couldn't be a Saltfest again, and if he's a Saltfest, then he's just not Thunderwave. So, and it is kind of hard for Golden Go to fit Thunderwave in its moveset in the first place, because I do have a Ting Lu, and then Golden Go is already struggling hard with Ting Lu, and then Thunderwave is a complete dead move slot versus it. So, and you need Shadow Ball for Deoxys itself, so that's another dead move slot versus Ting Lu. And then surely you recover, and then your last move, I guess, would be Make It Rain or Focus Blast. But I mean, both of those bounce off Ting Lu anyway. But yeah, Thunderwave, I think it's pretty difficult to justify on the Golden Go. So I make a decision here. It's an informed decision, and it also is a slight risk. But I stand by this, that I think it's more likely that he does not have Thunderwave than that he does have Thunderwave. And since the situation is so ideal for me, I'm going to Calm Mind here, hoping he Shadow Balls me, and procs my Weakness Policy. So I get the Calm Mind off, and he clicks Shadow Ball, does 29, my Weakness Policy procs. And now he is in trouble. So, I'm going to set up another Calm Mind because I need it to actually two-shot the Golden Go if it's Assault Vest. Here he gets... oh wait, no, not yet. So, here I recover. I am risking several crits here, but there's not really much I can do about it. But he's just clicking Shadow Ball into me, going for the crits, because he doesn't really have another play. He's clearly not Thunderwave. He probably is Assault Vest. And, yeah, like, he doesn't have a switch in, because obviously I'm stored power. Everything is going to die or get 2-KO'd. So he has to stay in and fish for crits. Like, this is his out, because now he's in, like, extreme danger of just losing here. Especially because even if he puts up Sun with Torkoal, he can't even go for Sleep Powder, because my Tentacruel is put to sleep. So I go for Stored Powder, does 55. He gets the special defense drop here. This is what I thought happened a little earlier. But, so this does lower the damage of our stored power, but, it is still a guaranteed 2-hit KO if he's like max HP Assault Vest. So, it didn't really matter. And, that is, based on the first stored power damage, that is, most likely what his set was. I believe after the game, I also saw it was that set, like max HP Assault Vest. And, oh yeah, and I could tell he has a special attack investment from the Shadow Ball damage as well, so it wasn't, like, super especially defensive. And, yeah, now Deoxys is in full control. This is, like, he goes Corviknight here. It can live one stored power, so, I mean, that's really all he can do. I click Recover as he Brave Birds. Since it can live one stored power, I have to spam Recover until it puts itself into a stored power range, basically, or clicks Roost, because once it clicks a move other than Brave Bird, I'm going to have an opportunity to click Iron Defense. And now, after this Brave Bird chip, plus the extra boosts from Iron Defense, Stored Power is a guaranteed kill on the Corviknight, because I do expect the Corviknight to be physically defensive, and I also lived a Brave Bird from there anyway, so I just went for it, assuming it was physically defensive for the Annihilate, and it was, so it just died. In comes Torkoal. I actually recover first, just to... It is actually pretty important, because I would stay out of range of, like, Walking Wake or Venusaur shenanigans. I don't really know what they're, like... They could be Life Orb, they could be Specs, something like that, and I could be in range of one of those attacks, so Recover first is completely safe, because my Tentacruel is asleep. I can't be hit by Yawn. So, I recover, then I just Stored Power. There's no need to set up anymore, no need to be greedy. In comes Venusaur, goes for a Sludge Bomb crit, doesn't get it, poisons me, reveals Life Orb, dies to Stored Power, and in comes Walking Wake. And here, he is speed boosting, so I sack off my Deoxys. It has done more than enough. And I go into my Annihilate to 1v1 this. I Terra, he clicks Hydro Steam again. This reveals he is actually Specs this time. I Drain Punch, and now I'm not dead to crit, guaranteed. Hydro Steam does 29, and I kill with Rage Fist, and we win 4-0, and we advance to finals. So there we go. We got our run back, and I'm pretty happy with this game. I did not expect the Deoxys set to do as well as it did. Like, part of me saw like the lack of a dark type on his draft, and how, like, when there's a lack of a dark type, then a stored power psychic type, there's always like cheese potential with that. But it just went so perfectly, which was like ideal. Like, just like, wow, he just didn't really have much counterplay to it because the Golden Go was Assault Vest rather than like Thunder Wave or Nasty Plot or something. Alolan Executor didn't even hit the field, but we had that in the back as like insurance. Since the Walking Wake was Specs, it was actually like very nice to have in the back for that, because we 4 times resist Hydro Steam, and like it can't do any like substitute shenanigans on predicting our Endure. So yeah, pretty good. I think all of the changes we made, except for the Tinglu, except the heavy slam on Tinglu, that's just a mistake. But all the other changes I think were good. I liked Encore on Annihilate was needed this game to get rid of the Raging Bolt. The Assault Vest Tentacruel made the Walking Wake a lot less difficult to pivot around on, even though it didn't come out like earlier in the game. But Tentacruel clicking Knockoff was annoying for him to deal with. Light Screen on Zapdos enabled our Deoxys set. Annihilate. Wait, no, I already said Annihilate with Encore. And like the Deoxys set killed 4 Pokemon. Yeah, 4. It killed Goldengo, Corviknight, Venusaur, and Torkoal. So really good work from Deoxys. And yeah, so I think we made an informed decision to like decide this Goldengo wasn't Thunder Wave. And I think that was just correct. We did risk a couple crits, but we're still favored, like, on average, to win this scenario. There is one other thing I wanted to mention. What was it? Oh, it was the lead scenario. I think this was also fine, even if it was like a little awkward to like get my Tentacruel put to sleep so early. I don't know. I don't really have much to say about that. I just wanted to say the lead also went a bit unexpected, but I think we adapted to the situation pretty well. I believe that's it. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this game. Just like, I think we played pretty well and we prepped pretty well, except for the heavy slam on Tinglu. So, yeah, a solid win. It's good to do that in playoffs, especially versus someone we lost to earlier in the season. And now we advance to finals, where we will be playing Scion, the other person we lost to in preliminary rounds. So interestingly, our playoffs run is going to be versus the 2 people we fought back-to-back in the last 2 weeks of preliminary rounds. Oh my goodness. And we actually lost to both of them. So we're getting 2 runbacks back-to-back. So like our play order has been Treestain, Scion, Treestain, and it will be Scion next. So yeah. So next week is finals. So next week will be the final team builder and battle of the series. So thank you so much for watching, especially if you've been watching all these videos. It's just been like a fun hobby to talk into a mic for a little bit and go over the games and the team building process. I do enjoy it. So yeah. Stay tuned next week for the final team builder and battle. So thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.